Hey there, Wes Dove with Dove Development and Consulting. Time for a quick summary of what you can expect this week from a daily dose of leadership. It's going to be 4 in this series, and really looking forward to this. Last Saturday, I guess it was the 8th, 9th, 10th, whatever it was, when Cindy and I were at the International Maxwell Certification in Orlando, we had the opportunity. So John brought in a special guest speaker that nobody knew anything about. Being there, it was a total surprise, even to the folks on his team, that the faculty and so on, that the only person that knew was Mark Cole, his CEO, and this person John's been doing a lot of work with since last year's Live to Lead event, and her name is Carly Fiorina. So if you were part of Live to Lead here in Harrisonburg or somewhere else, you got to hear from Carly a little bit. So Carly's got a book coming out, and I'll tell you, the most impactful thing that I got from the entire event was where Carly talked about her leadership frame, where in any organization she's worked, she's headed up or worked for over the years, or now an organization that she goes in and consults or whatever, she uses what's called her leadership framework for helping them really have a 4 specific steps for looking through how do they make decisions, how do they implement any new ideas, what do they look for, and so on. So over the next several days, I'm going to break down each of those steps and try to give you some insight on how I've seen it used in different organizations, and how these things could have applied or have applied, and most importantly, how you can use them to really make sure that you're on the track to get the most out of any decision, any implementation, whatever it is that you want to do. Real quick, in a synopsis, and again, this is full credit to Carly Fiorina, but it was one of the most exciting things that I took away from the whole event, and there was a gob of stuff. The first part of that, the first side of the frame, so picture a square picture frame like the one you see with the flag on the wall behind me. The first set of that's really about having goals, and that's about a future state, and that's write it down and commit to it. She talked about the second side being structure and process, and that's all about who needs to do what. In many cases, not so long ago, Cindy and I had the opportunity to do a team building and leadership diagnostic session with a nonprofit board, and they've got some really big plans, but they need to make sure they line up with what they can really accomplish. And that structure, and I think we're going to be able to really help them with some strategic planning. It needs to boil down to each action that we've got, each goal that we set. We need to make sure we've got realistic expectations and people are in line with what we need to do there. And we need to make sure that all the things that we've got as goals, the service or the specificity of what we do really lines up with those. The third side of that are really metrics and results, and that ties back to, are we measuring the right thing? Because in every organization Cindy and I have ever worked with, if we don't measure something, if something's measured, it gets done. If it doesn't get measured, it kind of falls off the radar. We lose track of what we're doing, we lose track of what direction we're headed, and we tend to focus on the wrong things if we're not measuring the right things. So, and the fourth, and what really blew me away that this was the fourth, was about culture and behavior, and how do people interact day to day. And I've heard John talk for years and years and years. Companies have vision, but culture eats vision statements for lunch. So the vision's who we say we are. The culture is what we do on a day in, day out basis. And the most resounding comment that Carly made in the whole thing, and this was the first and the most impactful statement that I heard the whole time we were there, was the soft stuff is often the hard stuff. And that's the foundation for all the stuff that it covers from there. And really excited about how we can put some of this in place, how we'll build this out over the next couple days in a daily dose of leadership email series. And one last thing I'll mention to you, and I'm providing the link with wherever you're seeing this video tomorrow. I'm recording this on Sunday, March 17th. Tomorrow, March 18th, Cindy and I have the opportunity, and we've still got just a couple seats left at the Harrisonburg-Rockingham Chamber of Commerce for Leadership Smarts. Now, at this point, it's bring your own lunch, but grab it on the way, drive through somewhere, do whatever. We've got an awesome session lined up for you. Cindy and I worked through this morning and really have it dialed in. That's really about leadership, the impact leadership has on recruitment and retention in an organization. So with sub 4% unemployment, recruitment and retention are key, but it's not just an HR function. It's just not a staffing function. It's just not a recruiting function. Leadership matters. So the link's on here as well. Look forward to seeing you soon, and can't wait to share the 4 sides of the leadership frame. Talk to you soon. Have a great day. God bless.